it used to.
No, I think actually
Talking sex radio. If you're good, she'll put a finger in your pooter hole. Talking sex radio. Yeah.
the answer. Ink spreads because of either A, you're overworking the skin, or B, you don't know what you're doing. So that's why it's kind of hard to answer the question. Like, you got people that are out there buying kits out of magazines and on eBay and going, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm sick of waiting for my artist, or I'm an artist, I can do it. And they're in the garage and they're tattooing their friends. Well, they don't have their germicidal solutions to wipe everything down. They don't have their antibacterial soap. They don't have anything bagged or sterilized, and they're using the same needles on their friends. And that's going to create widespread diseases.
Your tattoo gun, is that similar to, I know it's got a needle in it, but is that similar to...
First off, it's a machine.
It's a machine, okay. Your tattoo machine.
Guns kill people.
Is that similar to an airbrush? Same theory, but with
in a sense, with the pedal and the movement of the machine and a certain speed, airbrushing is the same thing. A certain airspeed, certain, you have a generator that actually runs your air pressure and whatnot. I don't airbrush, so I can't really go into too much detail of that. But yes, it is very similar.
Is that the noise?
I'm awake now.
I just saw everybody jump.
Does that hurt? Is it gonna hurt?
It will.
Oh!
You can hold her hand.
I'm so glad it. You need to put the mic in your. I'm so glad that it is you and not me.
Oh yeah, I am too. Actually, I'm fine with this.
So when he starts to do it on your back, you'll explain to how it's feeling, correct?
Sure.
All
I
right.
can watch. I'm gonna watch your
right.
eyes.
So here we go. I'm going to do a couple small lines to get you used to it.
Okay.
All right, then we'll go from there.
All right.
Ready?
If you want me
Hold
to
on.
stop
Yeah,
for
but
any
you
reason,
wanna hold my hand.
I don't need to, but I definitely want
You
to.
want to hold my? Yeah, she's holding my hand. So.
if you want me to stop for any reason, just let me know.
Okay.
Try not to be tough and brave and like, oh, it's so bad. If you need to stop, just say
I'm
it.
a tourist. That's asking a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, we're two bulls sitting here.
All right, here we go.
All right.
And are you a masochist?
Who, me?
Yeah, no, I am. You should
She
see
is.
my ass right now. Oh, that's fine right now.
Does it feel good? Yeah, it's gonna go in subspace.
I don't necessarily think that feels good in that area. More irritating.
Yeah, well, it's so close to the spine, but like I told you before, what it feels to me like somebody taking a safety pin and just dragging that little needle. Yeah, I'm fine. Dragging that little needle across your skin.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm fine. No worries.
I know. Watching you go through it, maybe someday I'll get one. It's just.
But it becomes a lot more irritating after a while.
Does it?
When it gets sore, yeah.
And that's usually during like long process tattoos, The average human can sit for about 3 hours to get tattooed, and then after that, they're most of the time they're over it.
And
Like, all right.
can they take pain relievers while they're having it done? Do you?
Yeah, that's true.
I
Medication,
actually
anything.
don't suggest you take anything unless you're prescribed something. Just because things like aspirin and most painkillers will actually thin out your blood a little bit. And it'll cause you to bleed a little more while you're doing the tattoo. And if you're getting a nice big color tattoo and you're bleeding a lot, you're going to push a lot of that pigment back out. You're going to have to come back for a touch-up.
Have you ever had anybody ask you if you could do a tattoo on them but numb them first?
Yes.
And what was your answer to that?
I don't carry like the lidocaines and the other things that people have been using. One, I'm not really a big fan of it because it actually swells your skin a little bit. And I guess that's part of how it numbs. And during that skin swelling, it's actually hard to put the pigment in. But some people do it for the longer, bigger tattoos.
Will it also cause it maybe to bleed a little bit more?
I don't know that much about lidocaine,
Yeah.
just because I don't use it.
What do you do when somebody comes into you that is drunk or on drugs and wants to have a tattoo?
Usually you can tell right away, and I'll talk to them. I'll talk to them about a design and stuff, but I'll talk them out of getting tattooed that evening if they're really, really intoxicated. Number one.
Are you having fun?
That's closer to the spine, so it's a little bit more.
No.
Sushi.
number one, you're not going to make a conscious decision if you're kind of messed up on, if you're drunk or been on drugs. Number two, you're not going to sit very well. You're going to move around. You're kind of messed up in your head, so you're not going to sit still to get tattooed. And then I don't want that person coming back to me the next day like, what did you do to me? You know, and find out that he had no recollection the whole night, but he had a card from the shop and he realized he spent, $300 on his credit card.
Because he was drunk?
Yeah.
Is there any places on your body that you really can't get tattooing?
There's not too many. There's plenty of places I don't recommend you get tattooed.
And what are those?
I would stay away from things like your eyelids.
And your cock. We know that
Your
one.
cock. I mean, that's just personal preference. I mean,
eyeballs.
pretty much.
Let's talk about the eyeballs, which people are doing. Getting their eyeballs tattooed.
Yes, I saw that on the internet. Whew. That just looks painful and scary. You know what? I need my eyes. I'm an artist. I want to be able to look at beautiful women. I want to be able to draw nice things. I want to be able to continue tattooing. I have a feeling that, I don't know, I'm a little weirded out by it. I don't really understand it.
Are you weirded out by it?
Yeah, it's just because I feel like there could be a long-term problem with that eventually. But like I said, I don't know much about it, so I can't really be the spokesperson for it.
So when you're preparing this and you do everything in plastic, okay, so you tell all the things that you really need there for sterilization.
Well, as far as my tools for my machine, each needle and each one of these, which is a tube, are separately wrapped and sterilized. My needles, I throw them away. They're one use only. Okay? I don't try to go clean them and scrub them, throw them back in a sterilizer or whatnot. They're too cheap to make, or even buy a pre-made to even do all that. The tubes themselves, we do recycle, so to speak, because they're stainless steel. They don't actually go into your skin, so they actually never. They end up with a little bit of what we would say like besides pigment, like I'm at a loss of words right now.
Plasma?
Yes, plasma. It does get a little plasma in it, but they get soaked in they get soaked in a solution, and then we scrub them until they're clean and no pigment's showing and no anything's on there, and then we repackage them and run them back through a sterilizer.
How you feel, Dory?
I'm okay.
Dora, you look like you're flying.
A little. It's just when he's right on that spine, it's just so intense.
She was making these little moaning sounds, but she didn't have the mic near her mouth, and so we made her.
Oh, you'll hear some later. There will be more. I promise.
Have you ever been doing a tattoo and in the middle of it had an oops moment?
Had a oops?
Yeah,
moment?
like, oops, I put
What
the
did I
line in the
just
wrong
do?
place,
Yeah.
or I'm totally.
Well, I'd be
out.
lying if I said no, but nothing major. Like maybe I'll be doing a tattoo on somebody, say their lower back, for instance, and I'll be in the middle of a circle or something that's on their lower back, and they'll do one of these in the middle of it.
Hence
And then-
the mess
and then-
up on mine.
And then
yeah.
I'll be like, okay, and I'll go through it and I'll fix it. It's not a problem. Usually little tiny things aren't a problem. It's when I'm working on somebody's arm or something and their ex-girlfriend comes running in yelling at them and they go like this all of a sudden and I've got a line down their arm. I've never done that, but I've heard about it.
And how could you
What
repair
was your
something?
first tattoo?
You turn it into something else, play with it. It's almost like when we do cover-ups. When people have a really bad tattoo and they want to get it fixed.
Was the first one that you got the one that you did on yourself, or?
The,
What's the first one you did on someone else and
Oh, well, I built a makeshift homemade tattoo machine when I was 13, 14.
You what?
Yeah, I went through that process.
You made your own.
It wasn't very hard.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, it wasn't very hard. Well, I mean, I was 13, 14. I was kind of like excited about the tattooing lifestyle because I was being thrown into these shops with my friends and wow,
Did you did you ever do the one where you add the string to the needle and you do the poking with the string when you dip it in the ink? You know what they do in prison?
No, I never really understood that process, so I never did it. I mean, I really didn't, like my first tattoo I did on somebody was the same guy who tattooed me the first time,
Yeah.
And
And what
later, when I was about 14, 15, I got it covered up at a regular shop and got it fixed. So that's what I would consider my real first tattoo.
So how would somebody pick a tattoo shop?
Best way to do it is research. Internet, walk into a few tattoo shops, talk to an artist, look at the portfolios, you know, get number one, find a reputable shop that either by word of mouth or, you know, through things like the internet and ads to see like who's been voted the best or who's the best, who's everybody talking about. You know, maybe go check them out and then talk to the different artists, you know, look through their portfolios, see whose work you like, you know, talk to the artist, see who you feel comfortable with. That's a big thing when you get tattooed. If you're not comfortable with the person, you're not going to have a good tattoo experience.
Should they also look at the cleanliness of the shop?
Yes, that's a big number one thing. Cleanliness of the shop. You know, most shops will not hesitate. Most clean shops will not hesitate to show you their sterilizer. You know, show you that their packaging of everything. Show you that it's sterile, that it's clean. Like us, we have certificates about getting our sterilizer updated all the time to make sure it's working properly.
Now, is our tattoo shop monitored by the Department of Health?
Yes and no. Right now, there are only, I believe, 2 or 3 people are handling all of the tattoo shops from here to Orange County.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, so we actually have not been fully inspected. But for that reason, we made our shop above and beyond the codes.
Wow.
So that way when they do come in, they'll just hopefully just be amazed.
And what is the name of the shop again?
Studio City Tattoo.
I love that. Studio City Tattoos. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break while he's going to still be doing the tattoos. So you've been watching the Rev Mel Show on TalkingSexRadio.com. We'll be right back.